Hello everyone, it's Molly here, and I feel like I've not sat down to film a video in a really long time because the last video I uploaded, my VIP tag, which I'll link down below in case you haven't seen it, was filmed back like before New Year's. So in the video when I'm like, you know, it's Christmas time, like it actually was Christmas time. I don't think second week of January is Christmas time, don't worry, I'm not like that cray. So yeah, that was pre-filmed before, and I wanted to get it up while I was away on vacation, but life is, as I'm sure a lot of you understand, pretty hectic around the holidays and New Year's, especially when on New Year's Day, January 1st, you're leaving on vacation. So it was a little hectic and it just didn't end up happening, but I'm here now to film a new video, and I'm so excited because this is my first ever story time video, and I get requests for story time videos all the time. Like, everybody wants blind girl story time, and I get it because I have a lot of wild stories. Like, stuff gets pretty crazy in my life, I'm not gonna lie. And so I've always been like, oh, I don't know what story to do, I don't know where to start. We all know how much I talk. Like, I just talk and talk and talk, so Lord knows a story time video from this girl is gonna be like 40 minutes long, but I will try. You know what? I'm gonna try my best to keep it concise, but I've been watching a lot of storytime videos to get inspiration to sit down and film mine, and I was like, you know what? If this girl can make a video that's like 20 minutes long about a story that's like half interesting and has like 400,000 subscribers or whatever, yes, I'm talking about Tana, then, you know, maybe I can attempt it and my little family here would enjoy it. So I've been inspired basically by this wild story that happened on my vacation recently that I just got home from, and I was like, you know, everybody in my life is like, you need to tell that story. Like, it's just so ridiculous. So I was like, all right, I'm inspired. Everybody keeps requesting it. This is a story that's like fresh in my mind and I think is decent enough to share with you guys. So I apologize if it's long-winded. We all know my habit. Let's just get into my creepy Chuck Norris story. So, on January 1st, I went to... We're starting off well with tongue twisting. Okay. On January 1st, my mom and I went on a girls' trip to the Dominican Republic to an all-inclusive for a week. And this was my father's Christmas present to the two of us, which was super sweet to send the two of us away because we both work very hard on my own business, and so it was just like kind of like a little getaway for us. And my mom's birthday is actually January 1st, so it was kind of like a birthday present for her as well to get away. So two of us go on January 1st off on this little adventure expecting, you know, I'm going with Mama Bear. It's gonna be tame. And if you want to meet my mom, I'll post some videos down below that she is in, so you can kind of get a feel for my mom. But my mom is like my best friend. She's like 20 at heart. You know, she's super fun chick. Everybody loves Mama Bear. She's everyone's favorite mom. So I was like, you know, I expected to have an amazing fun time, but I also didn't expect it to get too wild or crazy because we're both pretty chill peeps, and we just kind of wanted to get away and relax and lay on a beach. So first day goes by, you know, we got in at like midnight, so we pretty much grabbed some food and went to bed. We get up, we have an amazing first day, first night goes by, uneventful. Second night, and in our resort there was like a really fun bar area in the lobby where like a lot of people would just sit and have a nice cocktail or wine before bed or champagne or whatever. So the second night, we did that the first night, and then we were going to do the second night again. And so the second night we go out, we sit down. I'll actually post like a photo here of me because like there's an actual photo from this night, and I'm in this like long maxi dress, and my mom and I decide we're gonna get Irish coffees because we're Irish, and who doesn't love an Irish coffee before bed? So we're standing at the bar, and all of a sudden I hear this guy beside me at the bar. I'm not gonna lie, like, sighted people watch, blind people eavesdrop, okay? It just is what it is. I have heightened hearing, I can't help it. It just happens. So I hear this guy talking to the bartender beside me, and he's like, I bring my ex-girlfriend and she's not even happy. I bring her to this all-inclusive and she's not even enjoying herself. And immediately, obviously, this like perks my interest. So I turn to my mom and I look at her and I'm like, and she's like, oh. So we both kind of like just stand there kind of listening, and she's like, no, I'm having a good time, like calm down. And we're both like, that's a weird dynamic. and we grab our drink and we go sit on a bunch of chairs. And it's just us like on a couch, but we had open chairs. We're like, maybe people will come and sit with us and we'll meet new people. Little did we know what would happen. So all of a sudden, this guy comes wandering up kind of to the side of us, like the closer side to my mom, and he's like, "Are you two lovely sisters going to the dance tonight?" And I was like, rolling my eyes, and my mom was like, "Oh, isn't that a lovely compliment?" And I was like, "Not so much to me." And basically the guy ended up being like, "Oh my gosh, you are so beautiful. Like, is this your daughter? She's so stunning. Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous," and just going on. He's like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Molly." And he's like, "Are you single?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Toronto." And he's like, "I'm from the area too." I won't say where he's from, but he was like, "I'm from that area too. It's really nice to meet you." Fake name inserted here. "I'm Mike." And I was like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you, Mike." And then comes wandering up beside him and sits down is this guy, again, fake names, Charles, and his ex-girlfriend, Kelsey. And they come up, and I'm like, what is this dynamic here? And this guy, Mike, is like, "Oh, I'm his barber, and that's his ex-girlfriend." And I was like, this is the weirdest threesome on a trip I have, like, bizarre. And they're clearly, like, quite well on. They've had some drink, like, they've been drinking. And they're like, "When did you get here?" And we're like, whatever night. And they're like, "Oh, we got here the night after," like, blah, blah, blah. They're like, "We have to go for dinner because we have reservations. Can we, like, we're gonna find you." And I was like, "Sure." And so my mom and I kind of like, they go off and we're like, "Let's move seats." So we like move seats and we're like, if they find us, they find us. If they don't, oops. And lo and behold, like less than an hour later, this guy Mike comes wandering up. And to give you an idea, Mike is like 6'3" and covered in tattoos. And he sits down in between my mom and I and just starts going on like, "Your daughter is just so stunning." And at one point, and then the other two come wandering up and sit down. And at one point, Charles is like, "Yeah, so anyways, he's my barber. Do you like my haircut?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm actually completely blind. I didn't have Gallop with me. I just had my hot pink cane, which was folded up beside me on the seat." I was like, "Oh, I'm actually totally blind." Literally, the response I often get, especially when people have been drinking and their inhibitions are lowered, are like, "What? Oh my God, that's crazy. Are you serious? No, there's no way. What? You don't look blind?" Like all these reactions. Literally, he just goes, "Oh, okay." And nobody says anything. I was like, cool, I guess we're just moving on. And like, it just did not faze them at all. I've never honestly met people who are so unfazed by the fact that I'm blind in my life. And basically we end up spending the whole night with them. This guy being like, "You're so gorgeous." The other guy being like, "You're beautiful, but I'm in love with my ex-girlfriend." And it was like this weird situation. He's like telling me all about his ex-girlfriend. My mom was chatting with the ex-girlfriend. She was like, Kelsey was kind of like across from me, so it was harder for us to chat, but like the little bit we did chat, my mom and I just fell in love with her. We're like, this chick is down to earth. I could tell immediately she was like just like me, just super chill, down to earth, really unfussed by the fanciness of life, and I loved that. And basically we spent the night with them. It was really fun. It was kind of hilarious, very flattering, and my mom and I went on to bed. The next day I get up. I'm sorry if you can hear the dog barking in the backyard. My family pet Rory is having fun out there. And so the next day we're on the beach and my mom's like, "I'm gonna go grab us some drinks." And I was like, all right. 2 seconds later, she's back. And I was like, that was quick. And she's like, "Okay, so I haven't told you this, but for the past 2 days there's been an older man who's been leering at you. And he's right there, so I don't want to leave you." I was like, ooh. And obviously, like you're on the beach, you're in your bikinis and stuff, and sometimes guys, like my friends will always joke, like when guys notice that I'm blind, they'll like triple take, or like they'll just check me out with like no care for the fact that I'll see them, because I'm not going to see them doing it. So they'll just kind of take advantage of that. So obviously, I walk around with my cane all over the resort. He knew I couldn't see, and he just kept leering at me. And so I was like, oh, creepy, whatever. Didn't think much of it. And then that night, we're again like at that same main relaxed bar area in the lobby, and we're sitting and we're having our Irish coffees, and my mom's like, I'm gonna go grab water or something. And as soon as she leaves, a man comes up to me with a really thick Finnish accent And he's like, I'm sorry, I just had to come over here and talk to you. You are so stunning. I was like, well, thank you. And he's like, your beauty just drew me to you. I was like, thanks. I'll actually insert a photo of me that night as well. I have another photo. And I was like, thanks. And he's like, do you mind if I sit down? And I was like, okay. And so he like sits down right beside me, like legs touching up beside me. And he's like, do you mind if I ask how old you are? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be 22 in a few weeks. And he's like, oh, I'm 43. I'm an old man. I was just kind of like, oh, you know, not that old, you know, still have half your life to go. Like, what do I say to that, you know? And anyways, my mom sees and like rushes back and sits down. She's like, so, hi. And we're just gonna say this guy's name was Chuck because he looks like Chuck Norris. So we all affectionately, or not affectionately, refer to him as creepy Chuck Norris. So Chuck chats with us for a bit, gets up, leaves, comes back, and like my mom is right there with me and had been a part of most of our conversation, comes back and is like, Molly, I have a drink for you. None for my mom. And I was like, and he's like way closer to her age than mine. And he's like, I was like, okay. And I like take it and just put it down on the table. And as soon as he's not looking, my mom and I get up and we go down to a bar that's in a separate part of the resort. It's more like the nighttime party bar. Not that we're huge partiers, but we were just like, you know, let's go down there because he's creepy. And so we walk down, and as we're coming back up, because we didn't stay for very long, so as we're coming back up the walk, he's coming towards us, and he walks up and he's like, Molly, again, ignoring my mom, do you want to go for a swim with me tomorrow in the ocean? I was like, you know, it's a resort, I'll be around, like, I'll be swimming, like, you can always just come in, it's an ocean, like, you don't have to invite me swimming. I was just like, kind of gave this like fluffy answer, and then we went to bed. And my mom and I are like, he traveled alone. That's one thing he also told me, like he came here on vacation alone. And my mom and I are like, you know, maybe he's just on his own, and he's lonely, and he's like looking for friends. And so the next day, he comes up to me in the afternoon on the beach, and he's like, Molly, will you go swimming with me now? And I turned to my mom and I was like, Mom! And my mom and I had actually legitimately just been about to go swimming. And I was like, Mom, let's go swimming. And so we, you know, go into the water, and he's, you know, a European man, so his bikini, his like bathing suit's like itsy bitsy. Moments I'm glad I'm blind. All right. So we get in the water, again ignoring the fact that my mom is right there with us, and he's like, so Molly, are you single? And I was like, I just had a really bad feeling. So I was like, no, obviously I am, but I was like, no, you know, like I have this guy back home. We have like a thing. Undefined. And my mom, I look at my mom and I was like, he's great. Like, he's a great guy. We love him. And he's like, oh, you know, I'm single. I just broke up with my girlfriend who was just 2 years older than you. She was 24, and I'm looking for a new one. And I'm like, all right, creepy. And my mom and I literally like don't even say goodbye. We're just like out of the water, like running. And we're like, okay, where are those guys we met 2 nights ago? Like, where is that guy who was saying how in love with me he is? We need to find him. He's 6'3", covered in tattoos. Mike needs to be my protection. So we run to the pool area and we find them, and we go and we sit down. We tell them a story, and that night they're like, you know, why don't you come out with us tonight? You know, we have a kind of a group of us that we've kind of gotten together at the resort. We're gonna go for dinner and then go to the bar. So I was like, sure. My mom was like, yeah, you know, I'll do my own thing. So I went for dinner with them, and at dinner I was telling the whole group this story. We were all from the GTA, and we were all between the ages of like 20 to 28, like 20 to 27. And so it was this group of us, and I'm telling them, and they're like, okay, we'll look out for him tonight. And so we go down to the bar on the strip, like the main party bar. We're down there, we're just having a few drinks, chatting. The night's going well, and then all of a sudden, one of the girls who's sitting at like right across from me at the table is like, that's him. And everybody else is like, what are you talking about? Like, totally forgotten the story. And then she's like, oh my God, he looks like Chuck Norris. And then everybody looks, and they register, like, based on the description I gave them, that it's him. And so I'm like, ignoring the fact that he's standing right behind me, like, tapping my shoulder. I'm like, oh, I'm just so busy talking with my friends here. Like, can't even hear you. It's a loud bar. And this guy, Charles, who's sitting at the end of the table, kind of like pulls him aside, and he's like, hey man, like, what's up? And he's like, oh, I'm Molly's friend, I just want to chat with her. And he's like, you know, Molly's pretty busy right now. She's chatting with her girls, she's just having a lot of fun, maybe it's not the best time. And he grabs Charles' arm, and I don't know this at the time, but he grabs Charles' arm, squeezes and says something like, if you don't let me talk to Molly, I will kill you. Next level creepy. But I didn't know this happened at the time. And Chris like leans in, and like I said, it's like a loud bar. So it's one of those things like unless you're leaning right in and shouting at the person, you can't really hear. So he kind of like leans down into the table and he's like, you girls should go to the bathroom. So 4 of us girls get up and we go to the bathroom. 3 of us are in the bathroom, 1 standing outside on guard. And again, what we didn't know at the time is that he came up to her and was like, I will kill you. Like, if you don't let me to her, I will kill you. And so we start to come out because we waited a while. And she's like, don't come out yet, he's waiting. We're like, back in the bathroom. And then it had been a few more moments and she comes and she's like, it's good, we've moved tables, like come out, run to a separate like nook of the bar. So I link arms with a girl on either side of me so he can't come up beside me, and we like dash to the new table. We get all new drinks because we don't want to risk like that we weren't all sitting with our drinks watching them kind of thing. So we all got new drinks, we're sitting there, and like 15 minutes later, all I hear, like a glass gets put in front of me, he leans down, whispers in my ear, I want you to drink this, and starts massaging my neck and shoulders. And I'm literally like, he's behind my back, but I'm looking at the table like help me face, help me. And the one guy, that Mike, who's like super tall and intimidating, like grabs the glass, literally throws the glass into the bushes outside the bar, stands up and is like, basically like, go, and got rid of the guy. And so I was like, to say the least, mega creeped out at this point, and this is when they told me that he had threatened to kill them, and that's when I was like, okay, that's not even funny. Like, I was thinking he was creepy before, but this is actually creepy. Like, that means he's serious. Like, he means creepy business. He is on a mission to get me. And it's something I've always, had to be aware of, that people view me because of my disability as being more vulnerable. Even if that's not true, that's what they view me as. And I literally either attract like the most gems of gems. Like I either attract like the 20 out of 10 guys or the like scummy -50 guys that are like creepy and after something that is, not nice. So he was, needless to say, creepy. And when I say he said he's 43, like everyone's like, okay, he's 43, he's not a good 43. Like he's like 55. And yeah, it was just a really creepy experience, and luckily he was leaving the next day, so I didn't have to see him or deal with him. Hallelujah! Thank God! And, for the rest of the trip, my new friends and I had just like a ton of fun, our little squad, and I'm so thankful that they protected me. They were such a great group of friends. We had so much fun together, and luckily most of them live really close. Unfortunately, Kelsey lives in the States, but I'm sure we will visit again. So that's kind of like my creepy Chuck Norris story in the Dominican. That trip was so much of an adventure. I have so many other stories like being robbed while I was there. So if you'd like to hear about my robbed in the Dominican story, leave a comment down below and thumbs this video up. Subscribe if you have not already. Let me know if you enjoyed this story time and what other kind of stories you would want to see from me. Thank you so much for watching, and if any of my friends, my new friends from the Dominican are watching, thank you so much for taking me in under your wing, being so awesome, protecting me from the creep. And if the creep is watching, you're creepy, don't subscribe to me. That's it. Love you guys. Bye.